Howdy watch fans, hope you are doing well. For this episode I review the Vero Workhorse Trackday after a little bit over 1 year of ownership, so if you're interested, stick around. Well, a quick update on format changes for the videos that I'm posting. I've been doing such a horrible job getting videos done with work and life being so busy. I've decided to cut down episodes to 5, 6, 7 minutes thereabout with the hope that it makes things a little bit easier to manage. Let's see how it goes. So, for this episode, I'm providing a bit of an introduction to a watch company started in my hometown of Portland, Oregon, and giving you the lowdown on the Vero Workhorse Trackday after a little bit over 1 year of ownership. So Vero is a relatively young watch company started back in 2015 in Rip City, Oregon, better known as Portland, Oregon. The name, of course, is of Latin origin and translates to "in truth." According to an article in Portland Athletic Outdoor, Vero was started by watch enthusiasts Chris Boudreau and Danny Ricordone. No guarantee in how I pronounce those. According to a sponsored article from 2018 in Worn and Wound, Vero came from a desire by both founders to stand behind a product, to have a say on the quality and design and functionality of things that they sell. That idea quickly turned into a whimsical story about a 8,000-pound milling machine purchased even without knowing where to put it. Probably just problems that startups face. Fast forward to 2023 and Vero has grown to include a watchmaker, a design prototyper, marketing manager, and a few other freelance creatives nestled comfortably in their Northeast Portland office. Vero's line has expanded to 4 watches including the Meridian, Open Water, the SWQ, and the SWSS, and of course my favorite of the bunch, the Workhorse. Approximately a year ago, while back in PDX to visit some friends, I reached out to the Vero team to see if I could stop by their offices in Northeast Portland to try on the Workhorse chronograph models seen on the website. After a quick bus ride to Northeast Portland, I arrived at the Vero headquarters and was greeted by watchmaker Dan. Now Dan was a real hoot to talk to and started walking me through a bit of the history of Vero along with showing me a few of the early models. After a bit of introduction to the brand and his role as a watchmaker, Dan showed me the Workhorse. So the Workhorse comes in 3 color variants, the khaki-colored Canyon, the olive-colored Backcountry, and the gray-colored Trackday. After going back and forth a bit, I decided on the gray Trackday. So out came the credit card and I coughed up $429 for the gray Workhorse Trackday chronograph. Thankfully, no sales taxes, in Oregon, so that's a win. And on to the basics of the Workhorse Trackday chronograph that I got. The watch is about 44.5 millimeters wide, 49 millimeters if you included the crown. It's around 13.5 millimeters thick with a lug-to-lug of about 50 millimeters. Lug width is 18 millimeters, pretty common, so it's easy to swap out the straps. With the strap that it comes with, the Trackday weighs about 96 grams. Depth rating for the left-handed chronograph is an ample 120 meters. The base case material is steel and coated with Cerakote, a composite epoxy coating made with polymer ceramics. And while I'd like to sit here and tell you more about it, the polymer and ceramics and how these two crazy kids met at the corner of inorganic and organic chemistry, I will skip that embarrassment because I barely passed high school chemistry and go straight to the punchline. Cerakote Good provides tough, scratch, abrasion resistant coating. Ta-da! Some other notable features include an AR-coated sapphire crystal, drilled lugs, and screw-down main crown, and internal bezel crown. The Workhorse is powered by a Miyota 6S21 quartz chronograph movement with accuracy of plus-minus 20 seconds a month and features the ever-useful seconds hacking. So, after a year of ownership of the Workhorse Trackday, I can sum up my thoughts into 3 bright spots and 3 gripes. Let's start on a positive note with bright spot number 1. The 10-year warranty. You gotta love a company that believes enough in their product to stand behind it for 10 years. Which brings us to bright spot number 2, the styling. While very much a modern watch, we see elements of retro styling. The watch reminds me of classic vintage camping gear somehow. The stepped bezel, the grooves on the lower part of the case are reminiscent of the outdoor flashlights and thermoses and lanterns of a bygone era. And bright spot number 3, the attention to detail that sew up the whole outdoor motif. The chronograph pushers, for example, have tactile ridges and marked with stop, start, reset as if buttons on a flashlight or lantern. Both the main and inner bezel crown are marked with a directional arrow and unscrew written on it. The case has milled slots on the back of the case to properly seat the wire guard, so all of it comes together in a really interesting watch. Which brings us to my main 3 gripes. Gripe number 1, I wish the wire guard they used on the watch had a little bit more rigidity with a bigger presence and more functionality, something like a Casio G-Shock wire guard perhaps. Gripe number 2, the Miyota 6S21 movement. Don't get me wrong, it's reliable, sports chrono, great. What bothers me about this is the 6S21 apparently has a date function in the back that doesn't have any utility on the watch, and it occupies a position on the watch crown stem. So it kind of rubs me the wrong way that there's this function in the back that didn't get incorporated, but it's still in the movement, so you feel it on the crown. Just kind of weird, right? Then again, I could be the weird one with this gripe. And last and possibly my biggest issue with the watch at gripe number 3, it's the strap. Yep, it's the strap. The watch quality is solid and tight, but the Velcro strap, it has this obtrusive buckle and weird ridges, just didn't do it for me. From the first use to about 13-14 months later, it's just poorly executed for a $400 watch. On its best day, it's cheap feeling. On its worst day, it literally rubs me the wrong way, right? I thought it would grow on me, but it hasn't, and it's been 12 months, so I think this one's a loss. Thankfully, this can be fixed with a quick swap as long as you can find something that's nice, that matches the color and style. 18mm lug, so it should be a pretty easy swap. But despite these gripes, I have to say that the Vero Workhorse Trackday chronograph has been a unique and worthwhile purchase. The unique styling is great. The Cerakote, the sapphire crystal make it a rugged companion in the great outdoors or in the office typing away at your keyboard. And while at $429, it's definitely not an easy purchase, there's definitely a lot of watch positives you get for the price. So there you have it, watch fans, my review after a little bit over a year of ownership. I think as long as Vero keeps making watches this worthy of attention, there's no qualms in supporting this hometown watchmaker hero. And with that said, as we say around these parts, whether you are wearing a cool micro-brand chrono with a crappy Velcro strap, or a retro-inspired desk diver, you do you. In the great words of the great Humpty Hump from the Digital Underground, do what you like. Peace.